You ready?
Yep.
Am I supposed to start it off?
Do you want me to start it?
It doesn't matter to me.
Great.
Okay. What's up, everybody? We're here at the Meet the Blacks and or the Blacks and or 2 guys, 1 girl, or 1 girl, 2 guys, or 1 girl, 2 cups. We haven't really decided yet. So we're gonna need y'all help with that. But in any case, we got a brand new podcast coming to you guys from the southwest side of Chicago. Both sides, the best side. What up, guys? How we feeling today?
We're feeling, but I just want you to know that the best side is the west side. So
That's absolutely not true, but
that
we're not going to start that
true.
right now.
Because it rhymes so well, and it's also the truth. The best side is the west side.
Give me like 2 redeeming qualities of because I can't really think of any
the west side?
of the west side.
What kind of qualities?
Your redeeming qualities of the west side.
We have great chicken in Uncle Remus. And we have the circle. Who doesn't love the circle?
The circle.
We have
Alright, I guess.
God damn it.
Alright.
People love the circle. You know,
it's a nice hang in the summertime.
Do you know what goes on over in the circle?
I do know what goes on over there.
And that's why people love it.
You haven't been to the lake, have you? Clearly.
All the time.
Oh, okay. So which one is better, the lake or the circle?
Depends on what kind of mood you're in.
We all knew the answer to that. You was cracking, man. How you feeling, dog?
I say, y'all keep talking. I'm just here.
He's not having it at all today. Clearly. Only thing he gives a fuck about is his hats, y'all. So he's not trying to hear shit we talking about. It's all good.
It's all good in the hood. You didn't tell people what your name was when we introduced ourselves.
Fuck, we didn't.
Jesus.
Let's get to it.
Right.
So I'm Jeremy Cadlish, aka the mastermind behind the Rtisan podcast. I'm gonna link all my shit because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Who are you guys?
I'm Mimi, the mastermind behind the Vibes podcast, aka You're Trash. Y'all go and subscribe to Vibes podcast. It's Vibes with a Z, you know. And and you can follow me on social media, IG, Twitter, Mimi the actress, and then you can follow the Vibes podcast page on IG, Ask Vibes with a Z.
We might link that.
You're definitely
okay.
All right, we're going to.
We're going to link that.
Yes.
You can call me Eric if you want to. That's my name, so you just call me the dark skinned guy depending on how the camera comes out.
Cool.
So you can follow me on EP_REA. I do REA Radio, New Music Mondays, eventually 20 other podcasts. So just subscribe to REA Radio and New Music Mondays. That's where you're going to hear me the most. You're not going to hear me that much on here. I'm just a face.
He's just here.
Yeah, I'm just here, so I won't get fined.
Oh, okay.
Can I name all of my other podcasts?
I mean, go ahead.
Are you?
Nah, we don't got time for that.
Right,
Oh,
cool.
we don't?
So we're gonna move on then.
All right, well, fuck her podcast, apparently.
Yeah.
So we have a little segment that we like to put together to start off this little shindig called the opening rant, and I am going to start mine off with a rant. So if anybody that knows me knows this is how I get down. So last week, 2 weeks ago now, after I graduated, my mentor, who's an old Italian white guy, and my brother were all at my house having delicious barbecue. And one of the things we were talking about was, my brother anyway, was saying how he's frustrated that a lot of the opportunities he gets doesn't come from black men, and how he wished that he had more people to collab with, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And while I do understand where he's coming from, and I also sympathize where he's coming from, I have been there myself. However, black people of all types, when God sends you the boat, you get in the fucking boat. There is a land of prosperity that we're all trying to get to. And some people don't have to travel as far as others. Some people have transportation. Some people have the pleasure of knowing people who have been there before. However, you may not have any of those things. You may be starting from zero at the furthest point, and all you have is your own willpower. When God sends you someone who's willing to help you get to the land of prosperity. You don't really ask a whole lot of questions. You just get in the boat. Sometimes you're not going to know who that person is. Sometimes you may find out this person may not have had your best interests at heart. However, most people are good people. And when you get to the land of prosperity, you can ask all the questions you want to ask. When you get there, meet all the people you want to meet. Then you go back to where you came from and you help people with the boat that you built. But when God sends you the boat, you get in the fucking boat.
Because God sent it to you.
Bam. Who's next?
That's a really nice rant. You know, mine's not as, prosperous as that one. Jesus Christ, I feel so compelled to
just do you.
To get on a boat.
Speak your truth, sis. You know what I'm saying?
I feel really compelled, go down to Navy Pier and be like, hey, can I get on this St. Anita? Because, this is my time. So. True. Yeah.
I'm with it.
That's what I'm going to do. All right, cool. My weekly rant is not about that shit. Here's my weekly rant. I get really, really irritated and agitated with social media. Period. No, that's not what it's about. So, my rant is, I really do get irritated and agitated with people who are very coy on social media about their new relationships. So you know how people post bae in the background or the emoji eyes or something, but they never really tell you that we're in a relationship. Niggas, if you want us to know, just say, hey y'all, here's my new boyfriend. Hey y'all, here's my new girlfriend. Ain't she cute? Ain't he fine? Instead of posting all kind of other dumb shit on the internet. At this point, it's 40-year-old people who post boomerangs on IG stories of a nigga holding a cup in the background that we ain't never seen. Is this your new man or not? Do you want us to know or not? Because now we're about to stalk your pages and we're gonna find out. And no, you don't have any privacy because you literally wanted us to know without saying it. What? All that shit is dumb. I hate when people do that. True. I hate it so bad. What I really hate, this shit is creepy to me, when women, I think women do it more, will be in the bed with the guy asleep after somebody they just slept with, and they just take a quick video or whatever the fuck they do, and they put it on social media because they want people to know that they just slept together. Or you can just put out an IG press release saying, hey, we just fucked. I want y'all to know that. Instead of creepily putting out a video of some dude sleeping. That shit is so creepy to me.
It is creepy.
It's highly creepy that you're just there taking a video of somebody while they're sleeping. And then they gotta wake up to the internet, dragging them. Oh, so you sleeping with so-and-so now. Okay? Y'all, just chill. If you want us to know that you're in a relationship, or that you smashing somebody, or that you smashed somebody, or that you're trying to smash somebody, just say it. Just say it just like that. Hey, I'm trying to smash you. To smithereens. Do you want to be smashed? Or, when you put it on the internet, if y'all are not in a relationship, just make the caption, we're currently smashing and I wanted y'all to know. That's it. All the other shit, cut it out. It gets on my fucking nerves. But who am I? Eric, you got a rant? I'm done.
You done? You sure?
Yeah. I had to get that out.
You gotta get that out.
Goddamn.
It's been bothering me.
Apparently so.
I hate when people do that shit. I'm done.
You're done.
Go.
I really don't have a rant.
So I'm going to take Eric's rant, right?
There you go.
So, god damn it!
Alright.
Eric doesn't have a rant. You got another rant? So
I got plenty, but we're gonna say that for next time.
Alright.
Because you had, I thought I had a rant. That was pretty serious.
It was. I hate when people do it. It's just so fucking stupid.
I normally see people do that when it's a famous guy and the girl is some sort of vixen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's usually when I see it. I'm just oh damn, that's not the best look for him. Because even if it's not that he trying to hide anything from somebody else,
it could be just a random one night fling and they just fucking
all that
shit bugs me too. But and now it's happening in a hood. It's just not.
No, it is. I've had that.
But it's like a super popular hood
I
thing.
tell like, take that shit down. Don't post this shit.
It's so dumb because it'll just be like, okay, some girls that I went to high school with, they got a new nigga like every week, and it's like, what is it that you want us to know? Please let me know what you want me to know.
They're getting it in.
I wanna get freaky with you. That's what it is.
I mean,
that's
just
what
say
it
that.
is.
Just say that. But then, like, they'll get mad if somebody go on their status or their social media page and be like, "What happened to the last dude?"
No comments.
True. Which brings us to our topic of this episode.
Topic or
nah, you skipping over shit.
What did we skip over?
The weekly entertainment news.
All right, entertainment news. What's popping in entertainment news?
Never figured that out.
All right, well, I know one of them.
We did.
Oh, well, you want to get on that right now?
Yeah, go with your first one.
Yeah, go with your first one, and then
we're getting into some entertainment news, entertainment of the week.
True. Well, the Raptors just eliminated the Milwaukee Bucks, and that was significant for a couple different reasons. Kawhi Leonard basically forced a trade from the Spurs to go to the Raptors. And when it happened, I want to say...
forced a trade.
He forced a trade.
No. He wanted to get traded. They sent his ass to Toronto. He wanted to go to Cali somewhere. They said, nah, we're going to see you in Toronto. We're going to get DeRozan.
I don't even think Greg Popovich likes California, let alone any team in LA.
He likes California. He just
I don't know that. I don't know. The way he acts, I don't know.
No one's helping the Lakers.
Right. So there's no way he was going to trade him to there. Kawhi,
I think. Clippers, though. He want to go to the Lakers. Nobody wants to.
The Clippers didn't have anything that the Spurs wanted.
They could have got some assets. Shit.
What?
You see how they went to the playoffs this year.
Yeah, because they had Doc Rivers. They don't. I mean, you
just give him that much credit,
dude. Hell, Doc Rivers is a top 3 coach in the league, dog.
Top 3?
Hell yeah.
Top 5, yeah. Top 3.
What 4 coaches you got above him, bro?
Popovich.
Okay.
Shit. Let's see who else we got.
That's it.
That's it. Really?
Bro, you reaching. You reaching, my nigga. You reaching, my nigga.
Wow.
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm trying to see.
I'm going to throw you a life raft. Let's just move on. So, I'm going to throw you a raft. When you come up with some more, then we can get into that. So, he forced the trade from the Spurs.
He went to the Spurs. He went to Toronto.
Right.
He didn't just want to go, but he went. And you see
he
what he's
did.
doing now.
And now he's in the NBA Finals.
Right.
And he just eliminated a guy that's either going to finish first or second in the MVP voting. In Giannis, his last name, Antetokounmpo. Him.
Yeah.
Can't pronounce his last. I can't. It's Antetokounmpo or something like that. I can't pronounce the Greek freak. That's what everybody calls him, or just Giannis. So he eliminated Giannis, and I think that's a big fucking deal. To be totally honest, and I think this puts him in the driver's seat right now for the best player in basketball currently playing. I think with his defense plus his offense plus his rebounding, I think he's the best player in the playoffs right now. And everybody's saying the Raptors are going to lose in 6 games. However, I just want to say, if Kawhi is healthy and KD does not come back, which I don't think he will, I think the Raptors can beat them.
I think the Raptors won't beat them because KD's coming back game 5 and he's going to be like, the fuck y'all thought? Nothing can keep me down because I'm too big. And he's coming back and Golden State's going to take him in game 6.
Interesting.
And I predicted that here first. And when that happens, you all owe me $500 a piece. So, you know,
give me a cash app handle now.
Yeah, cash app me. I'll put it up on social media because my cash app is my real name, and I just don't want to be telling people my government and shit.
Well, won't they see it once?
Yeah, but it's different.
All right.
Like in my mind, just let me.
All right, you got it.
Just let me.
Female logic. So, what do you think about that? You don't think the Raptors have a chance?
They have a chance. They're not gonna win. I don't think.
They don't have a chance as long as Drake is gonna be right by the damn courtside yelling stupid shit.
He's gonna be courtside yelling stupid shit.
Yeah, he's gonna be distracting them.
He's the worst version of Spike Lee.
Damn.
Shots fired, bro. Shots fucking fired, dog.
Spike Lee had players throwing his ass down.
Spike Lee is like this tall.
Yeah, he was annoying. Scott, he was told, sit your ass down. When he dunked on Pat Ewing.
Damn, he did
and
say that.
All in his face.
And he pointed to him too.
Yeah, sit your ass down.
Sit your ass down. God damn.
dunked on the man, put his nuts all in his face, then told him,
Yeah,
sit your ass down.
Wow.
Hey, low-key Patrick Ewing. I'm a Scotty fan for real, but Patrick Ewing should have body slammed his ass for doing that.
Patrick been dunked out so many times.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's the thing, you know. You're big, you gotta get dunked on.
Question for you.
Yes.
If you're KD, would you leave?
Yes.
Golden State?
Yeah, would you leave
Yes.
Golden State?
If you're happy with winning and all that
No.
shit, you stay. But if you want your own team, you want your own
I
destination, your own
think
legacy,
I think that's a mistake for him. I think him leaving is a mistake.
Yeah.
I think him leaving shows
Okay,
how immature
yes.
how immature he is.
Do you consider him a superstar?
Fuck yeah, he's a
So
superstar.
anywhere he goes, so they automatically be a contender.
Not necessarily, no. I think if he ends up going to New York by himself, I don't think
He's
that
not
makes him a
going- he's not
contender
going
of
by himself,
anything.
He goes to New York.
I think
If
him
KD
plus
leaves,
Kyrie
yeah,
doesn't
it's not gonna be a
necessarily
great
guarantee
move.
anything.
I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying if he leaves, he's not going somewhere by himself.
Well, no, he's always going to go to a team that has that other star. So
He better.
Well, that's usually what he does. So
This is a new NBA. You teaming up to try to win, and no one's trying.
Well, look,
to
here's why I think it would
no
be
one does on their own
immature.
anyway.
Why would
Yeah.
you leave a great situation like that to go to a lesser one?
because, well, I think what KD's thing is he's always trying to start. What he's trying to do more than brand himself. He really is, like Eric said, he wants it to be his team. So he wants to be known for.
The Warriors are his team.
No, they're not.
Nah.
No, they're not. No matter how long he's
Yeah,
gonna be there.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
Nah,
that's
Steph.
Listen.
Steph
He was-
team.
Have y'all been
He
watching
was
on the
drafted.
court? On the court, that's his team.
But when he's off the court, they play a lot better.
On
Yeah,
the
we know
court,
who-
off the court, I don't give a shit. That's always Steph Curry's
Exactly.
team.
He drafted there. That's
So-
who they love. He brought them the championship first before KD was
You
back
can't
there.
you can't worry about that if
If
you
he would have
KD.
stayed over with Westbrook, then I think he first off he gave up way too easy. I get like y'all got to the
He did
finals
kinda
twice.
fold.
He gave up way too fucking easy. But wherever he goes next, he wants it to be his team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's KD's whole thing right now.
I hope he isn't that immature.
Yeah, I think
Do
he
you-
is.
do you
I
follow
think he
him on social
definitely
media?
is.
I do, and it's kind of sad.
When you have a burner account, you're
It's
fucking
bad.
up. Yeah.
It's a bad look.
You're very sensitive.
So yeah,
It's a
he's
bad look,
super
I
sensitive,
admit.
very immature. It's literally about
He's gonna see
popularity
this
with
and
him.
those shots at all of us.
I mean,
it's
maybe.
fine. If he gonna score, yeah,
KD, listen, bro.
don't give a
The
shit.
way to stay relevant is to be winning all the time in this league. Why would you leave a top 6 player in the league? A top 5, top 6? I mean,
Oh, boom! Just found one. Steve Kerr.
what about Steve Kerr?
Coach.
It's Steve Kerr.
I'm not sure. Steve, look, let me see Steve Kerr do it with another team, and then I'll agree with you.
I'm still gonna go with Steve Kerr.
I can't necessarily. I'm not gonna argue you down on that, but I have to see him do it without 2 of the best players in the world.
Who was he with before Golden State?
This was his first coaching gig.
Yeah, he was a GM with
He was
the
a GM with Phoenix. He was
yeah.
That's what I was
broadcaster,
thinking
yeah.
about. Okay.
This is his first coaching
GM
gig.
Phoenix.
Right.
No,
Okay.
he made the best move ever because he was this close to being the Knicks coach, and his ass would have been back doing TNT if he would have did that.
Oh, facts.
But then the Golden State gig came up and like, Phil, I'm going.
Yeah, he was out. He was like,
out.
deuces, bro.
bruh.
Steph, Clay, I'm out.
Play shit. They
Yeah,
just
I'm
made
out.
to the playoff shit.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good. Fuck this rebuilding shit.
On God. So yeah, he said that on God.
Oh God!
On God. Yeah.
Shit. I'm over here.
For sure.
All right.
All right. So what do you got?
In like life.
No, did you got any entertainment news?
Yeah.
Alright.
So there's this big thing going on the internet where people are judging. Well, like a lot of the celebrity guys, like rappers and R&B singers and whoever, they are painting their nails, right? So there's this thing. It's like a homophobic thing going on where people are basically judging men for getting mani-pedis. I mean, if you want to paint your nails, I don't give a shit because it's cute, but I hate that there's like this stigma attached to men getting mani-pedis as being gay. Anyone of y'all ever had mani-pedi?
No.
Why?
I just.
Because you think it's gay?
Well, it just for the longest time it just seemed like something that women do. Usually when I go to the nail salon or have been inside one, it's just a bunch of girls in there. And I'm like, oh, okay.
You'll never look at your nails and your feet and be like, I need to fix this shit.
My feet actually kind of nice, so no, not really.
In your mind.
I mean,
Eric,
I'm
you
just
ever
being
had a
honest.
mani-pedi?
I've never had one, but I'm not against having one.
We're having a mani-pedi day.
I mean, if you buying, I'll roll, I guess.
I'm not buying shit.
All right, well.
We're all gonna collectively go and pay for our own things. But how do y'all feel about men like not even just getting mani-pedis, but painting their nails?
It sounds like what you're really saying is them metrosexually grooming themselves. Sort of what you're getting at a little bit.
I guess you could. Yeah, that's what it's called.
All right.
The metrosexual.
I don't necessarily have a problem with it necessarily.
You have a problem with your favorite rapper having his nails painted pink?
I don't even know who my favorite rapper is right now. What rapper has their nails painted pink right now?
I'm sure Young Thug.
Yeah, Young Thug had a lot of
Young Thug is not even a real rapper to me, so I don't even know.
Young Thug, people were judging. What's the guy's name? Ty Dolla $ign. He had his nails painted. I feel
like that's a fad. I mean, in the '80s, hair metal bands were doing that. They were spraying their hair. I mean, guys' hair and women's hair in the '80s, especially like I said, those hair metal bands was basically the same. They were painting their nails and wearing lip gloss and all that bullshit. Yeah, exactly. Leather, that tight ass leather and all that whatnot. So I mean,
Rick James, Prince. Hell.
Damn, you're not wrong. Eddie Murphy was wearing leather. I don't know if it was. Yeah. So I mean,
apparently.
They were really
game blouses.
Yeah.
Game blouses. You know what, man? You know what? Times change and they change constantly. And if that's what you into, then do you. I'm not into fads. So what I really want to say is be true to who you are. Don't do it because everybody else is doing it. You know what I'm saying? If that's something that you want to do and the people you roll with is cool with it, or if you cool with it, period, in the story, then fuck what everybody else got to say. But I'm not with the whole, I'm doing this because, everybody else doing it then. Yeah, because, then you get into, if your friends are jumping off a bridge, you jump off a bridge too? And
some niggas would.
No.
I don't disagree with you.
And I'd be like, fuck my friend, because you just got to jump off that bridge by yourself.
Boom, you just got to get new friends.
Because I'm scared of heights.
True. New friends.
Don't want to die. Okay, cool. I'm with you. I agree with that. Like, I'm not into fads or trends, and so I basically go how the damn wind blows. Like, that's me. That's my vibe. But I don't like it that people are judging rappers, singers, whoever. If it's one thing if they're doing it to be trendy, but I know like Ty Dolla $ign been painting his fucking nails, and now somebody caught wind of it, and now it's all over social media, and he's been judged. Like, that's what the fuck he likes to do. If he likes to self groom, then great. Even if it is a fad or a trend, I don't get the big deal. I truly don't get it.
It's a big deal because it's a name associated with doing something famous that people are paying attention to and saying, oh, but you're doing that, I don't know if that's the thing, man.
But it doesn't
it's the same thing when they got their hair, like the whole highlighting with your hair thing, that's a fad now too. Like everybody's doing that more and more.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years ago when I first started seeing it, I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
And then the nose ring.
That is getting real popular right now.
And they're bringing it back, right?
Yeah, like when that was the thing in the 90s. Hell, Pac had a fucking nose ring. I ain't had nobody saying Pac was gay.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, do you. That's all it is. If this is who you really are, if you're really happy with finding who you are in life, this is all you can be. If people don't like it, fuck them. Don't listen to what they got to say. Do you. Live life the way you got to be. You got to be happy. You got to be living with yourself within. You got to honestly live with yourself. And nobody's going to live with you.
All right, E, dropping knowledge and shit.
Man. Be all that you can be.
Oh God.
Be boys and girls. Listen again. This is for grown-looking girls who's only. All right, cool, whatever.
True.
That's not.
With that, Katie, you don't leave Golden State. Don't do it.
That's not.
Unless you teaming up with Kyrie in New York.
You just said they're not gonna win though.
I mean, I'm just saying. Listen, man.
So
listen.
no, I don't know if this coach is back to the coach thing. Would you say Spoelstra is better than Doc Rivers?
Hell no.
Wait, who?
Eric Spoelstra.
Hell no. What has Eric Spoelstra done since LeBron and D Wade and Chris Bosh ain't been relevant?
He's still relevant.
He made the playoffs. Yeah, all right.
He got more rings than Doc. He's been to the pipe.
Bro, he also had LeBron James.
I get that, yeah.
LeBron and Pat Riley.
Doc had the big three though in Boston. He ain't been
He had the old big three, and they made it. And they got to back-to-back finals.
If KG had not gotten hurt, they would have been in 3 straight finals. If I won, they should have won all 3.
They should have won 2 of them. I'm not going to go 3 straight.
No, the year they went 7 games against the Bulls, KG got hurt. He missed that whole playoff run. They was killing niggas in that year. They was easy going to be back-to-back.
I'm saying they definitely should have went back-to-back the first 2 years. The third one, I'm not so sure.
When Kendrick got hurt, though. Perkins, he got hurt.
All right, I mean, you can't tell me you losing Perk, and Perk is the reason you're not winning the chip.
Perkins was super relevant.
Exactly. He was nice, but he wasn't
he was the key. He was a key factor on that team.
He was a key factor.
He was a key factor on that team.
Perkins was like a key factor in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. When nobody was really fucking losing. Like, when
he was a starter. He was a starter on the team.
That's fine, but during the first, he wasn't really doing anything throughout the whole
Yeah, but if you miss a role player, somebody else got to step in and do their role, though. So that's putting more energy on that next player. And they was missing key rebounds in Game 7 that they would have kept the lead.
Perkins was like, for all you theater people, the understudy. Nobody.
He wasn't really. I wouldn't say he's an understudy.
I mean, look, he was a nice player on those teams, and he went to the Thunder and filled that same type of role. Very admirable.
I thought he was better there.
He was a better player too, and he had a younger team. See, his role to me was sort of minimized on the Celtics because that was just a veteran-laden team. They had like
a veteran-laden team with
years.
Figuring out how to play point guard and giving them
Well, Rondo was a dog because all he had to do was exactly what Rondo was good at: pass, defend, and distribute. They had all the scoring, they had all the veteran leadership that they needed. So they just needed him to play his role, and he did that on that squad.
All right, so we're gonna divert from this conversation, get back to the topic at hand. So just by default, Doc Rivers is a top 3 NBA coach. I said it.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Because there's so many new coaches in the league, they haven't.
They got to prove themselves for sure. Brad Stevens, got to prove yourself, dog. Did not make enough adjustments against the Celtics. Did not, and he's one of the reasons that they lost.
Nah, that was Kyrie.
He was definitely. You the coach, bro. You the coach.
No, he's the coach. You got to make adjustments.
And if you heard what Terry Rozier said, he was putting that on him a little bit.
I mean, we're not gonna go why they're not putting it on him, but yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Side note, question. Will there ever be any hope for my Bulls?
We're not gonna talk about that. That's a whole nother discussion. They're like
let's definitely do a separate podcast
years
for
away
them.
From possibly making it to the playoffs. Actually, they'd be 1 or 2 seasons away from that maybe. They're in the East, so
like
that's a chance.
3 or 4.
No, they can make the playoffs.
The young guys got to keep getting better.
The young guys got to stay healthy first off.
Nah, fucking goddamn general management.
They're not going anywhere. Jerry Reinsdorf is a loyal guy.
Yeah.
He's not getting rid of nobody. He'll get rid of coaches.
We got to get Jerry Reinsdorf on the pod, bro. I'm gonna email him. We're gonna see what's
happening.
happening.
His son.
Whatever. Somebody need to speak up. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna get into the topic of the week.
All right.
True.
All right, we ready?
Mm-hmm.
We ready.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Meet the Blacks podcast, or the Blacks podcast, or 2 Guys, 1 Girl podcast, or 1 Girl, 2 Cups podcast, or 1 Girl, 2 Guys podcast. Help us decide. Or the Inner City Blues, the Inner City News.
Nah, it's Meet the
West
Blacks.
Side versus South Side.
Meet the Blacks.
Meet the Blacks.
Yeah.
And we the Blacks.
Up to your Chat-Town Down shit.
That's our shit, G. That's me and you. That's
Not
exclusive.
doing it.
That's
Real exclusive.
That's for the niggas. That's for the niggas. That's for the hell yeah.
The network.
The network? You want to call it that? You want to call us the network?
No.
What?
All right, cool. So,
All right.
all right. What? We're getting into the topic of the week, y'all.
Right.
Which is cultivating relationships.
True.
Just in general. Like, in a general sense, we just want to talk about how does one start a relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a personal, intimate relationship, whether it's a working relationship with your employer. How do you really start a relationship with someone? How do you cultivate a relationship? So goddamn.
I see what you did
smart.
there.
Do you see?
Hey man.
All right. Cool.
That's why we pay you the big bucks.
Okay. Jeremy, you go ahead and start. How does one cultivate a relationship?
Well, I think one of the first things is finding value in the person that you're looking for, right? Like, So that could be like through like a general interest. Maybe y'all both going in the same direction. Maybe it's maybe it's just purely physical. But constant communication, finding that one thing that you all can both attach to, I feel like is the most important thing. A lot of times for me, because if nothing else, even if y'all stop liking each other, I think at the very least there can always be that one thing. It's just like, oh well, at least we have this. Because like you're not gonna like everybody you work with. You're not gonna like your partner all the time. You know, you might not like your kids all the damn time. You know, but having that thing that you can that both of you all value, you know what I'm saying, can always be a jump off point and sort of be like a foundational piece. I feel like, at least for me, that I find that helps.
Well, like, okay, so in a sense of like the beginning of, let's say, a friendship, how do you connect with a person and then know that, oh, we're cool, like I think this is gonna be my friend? Like, what's that beginning point? Like, how are you going out meeting people or linking up with people for friendships?
I'm gonna say proximity is probably the most common thread, right? Like, usually you're not friends with somebody you don't see somewhat regularly. I mean, if you at a club, that's something different, right? But to be honest, everybody I've ever met at a club, lounge, bar, whatever, it's always been like a very passive relationship. It's like, I meet you, like maybe if it's a female, you mess around or whatever, or it's like one time, maybe twice, but it's never anything of like long-term value. It's always like, oh yeah, this is somebody I met this one time, woo off the band. But usually proximity is how it all starts. Because I feel like we develop relationships with our coworkers, even though a lot of times these aren't even people that we would normally even hang out with.
That's true. Because now that I'm thinking about it, like I don't think I have, and if I do, you're bad. But I don't think I have like any friends that like I just can call friends that I've met like at a club or in passing, and we've literally like really stayed in touch. Because my friends are my coworkers, or you know, my friends that I've known since high school or college. So I kind of get that, and now that like I'm thinking about it, like how does one start off? If we're talking about friendships, like what is that beginning phase of friendships? For me, I guess it is proximity. It's like it's always someplace that you are familiar with, that you visit often. And like if I'm talking about work, you build that bond with your coworkers, you know, if you like them, if you fucking like your job, because like you're at work, that's where the latter part of your day is spent, or most of it is spent at work. So it's like, well, I like my job, or I don't have a choice but to talk to y'all hoes. So we might as well start talking, and then you kind of get surprised by how you all are bonding. Or if you're talking about like a personal or intimate relationship, for me it's been like through connections or, you know, something like that, or I got this friend, or online dating is a whole different thing.
Oh my God, that's
a whole different thing. I've definitely done that, but most of the time it's just like through someone that I know, because that's more comfortable for me, and it's I think that's it. It's just more comfortable because it's more familiar. It's like, okay, well, I trust you, so if I'm getting to know this person, I'm gonna trust you because like you recommended that, you know, he's a good, decent person. Okay, so in relation to, if we want to say like networking, what is like the initial phase of like networking with people as for relationship purposes? Like, okay, well, I need to build my network because, you know, I need these connections. Like, how are you going out and basically networking with people?
What do you do? Because that's pretty much all you do.
The hell it is, really. I mean, honestly, if I'm doing it, it's through social media now. That's like really the new way of networking. Besides obviously going to events and networking and, you know, meeting green people, but networking really, to me, it's like social media, just linking up, finding out who does what, and just building that relationship. In my case, when I was doing it really, really hard, it was through emails. Emailing people, just initiating, hey, I do this, or so, can we meet up and discuss how we can work together, then going out and meeting them and talking to them about that. And then you may end up having certain things in common that you may actually end up being like friends, or at least like somebody you can look up to and like, hey, I'm doing this, can you help me out with that? Or something like that. I mean, but really, again, for me, I guess I'm more of the new school, like, it'll be social media, because I'm a really hard person to really conversate with, because I don't open up a lot, period. Any of my closer friends know that for sure. Like, if I actually open up and talk, they would have goddamn it, really. So, I mean, for me to actually have the time to really be on my phone, on my laptop, and actually do that, and then we go and meet and connect, and we actually build something off of that, that's kind of how it is right now.
That was like kind of going to be like the second question I had was like, what is that, or how do you stay in communication with that person so that you can call it your friend?
Well,
or
obviously
a
we change
relationship?
numbers, and we, again, if we in a certain place, a certain event somewhere, we just happen to see each other. Oh, what's up, homie? What's up, man? What's on town? Let's see. So stuff like that. And it's surprising, like, the people I've worked with, like, professionally, I actually do have good relationships with them. And it's, like, surprising. Because, I know once I really do talk, it could be like a fucking 15-minute long conversation or longer than that once I really engage. If it's a really good conversation, I'm, like, stimulated with, like, okay, let's talk about this.
Right.
But other than that, it's like, okay, it's just business. Just gonna knock it out. Do what I gotta do. Because even at work, I'm the same way. Like, I got people I'm cool with at work, and then there's more of you, I'm like, I'm just gonna do my job, bro. Just do what you gotta do.
I think
I'm not gonna make
no, that's like so true, because that's definitely me at work now. This is like a lot of people I don't talk to. First off, because they don't seem personable. And like I'll go up and talk to you and be like, hey, good morning, you know, all of that stuff. But if you don't seem personable to me, I'm not just gonna go out of my way to fucking talk to you. Like,
I'm not.
For absolutely no
It
reason.
depends on the mood I'm in. I could be personable, and I would just want to say shit to you at all. And we could be, I could be cool with you. I still just want to say shit to you. That's because you might have did something that pissed me off. Because like we here to work, let's get this shit done, get the fuck out of here. But you fucking have ass in it, like man, fuck you. And that's how I feel at that moment.
All right.
15 minutes later, when I like, all right, it's just bullshit. I'm like, all right, we can back, we cool now. Once it six in, I'm like, what am I getting mad about? I don't care about this shit.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy.
Eric, you funny as hell. So, all right, so I read a book, a real estate book, some years ago, and the guy was talking about being successful in real estate, and he had like this percentage breakdown of how you should be communicating with people, and he said that you're not in the selling business, you're in the leads generating business, and in real estate, it's leads are basically leads to properties, whether it's through people or getting MLS numbers from banks or from other real estate firms and stuff like that. So for what we do, because we're all creative people / business people, we have to be in the business of like cultivating relationships, generating leads constantly, even for stuff that we don't necessarily do really. You know what I mean? It's just nice to be in touch with people, because then you can sort of kind of become like the gateway to think, hey man, I heard about this thing, or I know somebody that needs that, you know.
Right.
So for us, I get newsletters from some of my friends, and I think I'm going to start doing those. But sometimes hitting somebody up and saying, hey, let's go get coffee, somebody you haven't spoke to in 2-3 months,
right.
or sending emails out just to people, or instant messages, DMs, whatever, and be like, hey man, I haven't talked to you in a while, blah, 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 blah. Let's do something together. Doesn't matter what it is. And what, to me, I find that it keeps you in the front of people's minds. It keeps you stimulated as well, because it's like you're constantly working on projects, so you're constantly forcing yourself to be creative. And then when you're doing that, you're like receiving somebody else's creative energy. So it's like, oh man, you're like always the pot is always turning. You know what I'm saying?
I could definitely relate to that, because when I'm in that circle of people and we all reciprocating the energy, it makes me feel a lot better, and I get more inspired to do more shit.
100%.
Yeah, that was kind of like gonna be my thing. Was like, well, how do you stay in touch with these people so that it doesn't always just seem like a working relationship? Like if that was me. If somebody, if I had a friend who only called me whenever they needed something, I would feel like I'm being used. But I guess it depends on what kind of relationship you've cultivated. Right. But for me, I just like, if I know that I'm going to call you a friend, I'm gonna call you like, out of the blue, hey, let's go get some coffee or let's go get a drink or whatever, just so I can honestly check on you, see how you're doing. And then that's also a new networking opportunity because you never know like what creativity may come out of that meeting. Right. So that part of the relationship you're still growing and you're still cultivating, because it's like, how do you keep in contact? How are you still communicating so that you are really like in cultivating, for lack of a better word, I've not said it a million times, but so that you are like building or growing that relationship, whatever kind it is.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you 100% on that. I really am. And honestly, that works in business and out of business. And I feel like maybe like with our romantic partners, that's another thing that we probably don't do enough is, I don't mean just date nights. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Obviously date nights are important, but sometimes it's nice to add that extra little thing in your relationship, especially if you and your partner are doing similar things.
Right.
I'm not saying both of you have to be musicians or both of you do theater or both of you are doing like entertainment or whatever it is. Hey, have you seen this thing? And it's something y'all can talk about. Or maybe y'all have mutual friends and stuff like that. It's like, yo, we should go meet up with this person. And then that gives y'all like a new thing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you need people talk about the spark and like things becoming like too mundane. Sometimes you guys going out and learning something together is a way for the relationship to stay fresh. Because you're like introducing somebody new into you all's relationship. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean like sexual. For some people that is a thing, but I'm not talking about sexually. But it could be in any realm. It's like, yo, there's this new networking event, we should go. Mm-hmm. Now is something that we can talk about constantly. You know what I'm saying? And that's also something you should do with your friends. Because Colin Cowherd, actually, I heard him say this. He's the first one that I heard say this. He said, you are the average of your 5 best friends. And if all your friends you may be the friend that's up here, but if all your friends are well beneath you, then, you're limited by how much growth you can actually have. So maybe we should also be, as like friend groups, be pursuing other things together. Even if we're not all in the same business. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's something else we should do as something maybe those are other things you should do with your friends.
To like really think about that now, like my friends, if I'm thinking about my 5 closest friends, we all are like progressing together, which is like the great thing now that I'm like really truly thinking about it. Like if I had like one friend who I thought was not progressing and then just like randomly out of the blue, it's like, hey, got that promotion, mm-hmm. Didn't know you were seeking one. It's like, well, yeah, just been really quiet about it. So right. My friends, we're all on that same page of like growing together, and we're all like super aware and keeping in contact with each other about it, and like reminding each other of different opportunities.
For sure.
I think it's super cool, like with my friends, because they know I act and do like all kind of entertainment stuff. So even if I haven't talked to them in like a few days, I usually get tagged on social media, hey, you should do this. Or people who are not like my closest friends, but I haven't talked to them in maybe a few months, but usually if they see something with entertainment in it, they always tag me or call me and be like, hey, I saw this and I think you should do it because you would be super dope.
For sure.
So I like that, I do have like a tight-knit, supportive group of friends and, even associates. Mm-hmm. Like I do like that, and that's part of the relationship building. It's like, okay, well, this is how we stay in constant communication. This is how we're supporting each other. Because if it's the other way around, and I know, oh, this friend over here likes to, I got one friend who's a super fucking couponer, and if I see anything with a coupon on it, I'm tagging her ass in it. Like, hey, saw this for 40% off. I know you're gonna want it. Like that. That's a dope part to me about that. Like if you're talking about friendships and growth, that's super dope to me.
So I think me and you, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a social butterfly, but I think you and I are more outwardly social. Mm-hmm. How do you, as somebody who's more introverted, deal with that?
I mean, it really depends. If I'm really familiar with you, we could fucking have that conversation about that. Like, I get people that tag me on stuff that they know about me. Like, they know I'm a basketball or a sports guy in general. So if they see some sports related, they tag me in that. If they see some entertainment related, they know what I do on the entertainment side, they tag me in that. There's discussions on hip hop in general, they tag me on that because they want to hear my thoughts on that. You know, I'm not going to give my thoughts on it, but they may tag me in it. But just, it depends on the type of friend I'm associated with. There are people who I have relationships with that's just more, they're not in the same field that I'm in. So it's like, I can talk about what I'm doing, but I can't say it with the same passion because I don't want to, like, you may not get it because I'm not at a certain level where you think, oh yeah, you there. Like, no, I'm still growing, I'm still progressing, but that's what I'm at with it. And there are people I'm doing it with and they get it. And we can really tag each other in on certain things. And we may go to events together, we may not. But at least they know about it. Any rapper I work with that I have a good relationship with, if I know it's an event or music or open mic or something that's up, I always let them know about it. Mm-hmm. Some business thing that they need to learn about the business side, I always let them know about it.
Right.
So stuff like that, those little things, just letting people know, like, hey, you need to do this. You want to better your career? Like, I genuinely do care about you. It's not about no money shit. I genuinely care about you.
Right.
You want to better yourself in this career field, you got to go and do these things, these little things.
True.
So it depends. Like, I could be, like, a little more outgoing, just depending on my mood and the time that I'm in at that moment. The mindset I'm really in at that moment, honestly.
Right.
So it just depends on what way you catch me.
I kind of like another question stemming from you. Like, why don't we treat our personal, like, intimate relationships like that? If we're talking about, like, growth or building of relationships and, like, all the time and effort we think about, like, the energy we put into being creative, and it's like, okay, well, all of this time is allotted to my creativity, and I know that, you know, if I want to keep connecting with my friends, we got to come up with different ways to hang out and, you know, stay interested in each other. Why don't we do that in, like, our personal, intimate relationships?
I mean, I don't know. The relationships I've been in, they've been very interested in what I do, and they always be willing to support it. Just there's certain things they can't support it sometimes, but I mean, it depends. Like, I try to be, like, engaging, let them know about what I'm doing and be out and support that, but in my situation, they've been extremely supportive. They've been open about what I'm doing. Someone will surprise me and show up to events and they'll be like, oh shit, what's up? But everybody I've been with who knows what I'm doing, if I've had that relationship with them, they've been openly supportive and I always try to engage them, let them know what I'm doing with that.
I think for me, like, well, I know I haven't, like, had that same type of energy I have for, like, being creative, like, that I put towards my creativity. I did not have that, like, in relationships.
I kind of do. I really just like thinking outside the box in general. Like, I feel like just living life, you gotta really live. So I really like doing stuff like that. Now, some of my ex-partners may not felt that way, so some of the things we may do may be a little too, not extreme, but just they didn't feel that way. Like, the most basic thing to them would be, like, really exciting, like us going out to dinner. Like, this is just regular shit. Like,
well, no, like, for me, I'm talking about, like, I mean, I guess we're on the same page, but that creative energy and focus that we put towards getting all of our own separate stuff done for, I didn't have that, like, in a lot of relationships, because I feel like a lot of, like, guys that I dated were not creative, so, like, I feel like, well, they wouldn't understand. And then the guy that I did date that was a creative still didn't fucking understand. It was like, but I don't know why I didn't have that same type of energy or like that.
It just wasn't, I guess it wasn't stimulating enough where you just felt like you could be that creative.
What? One, I think we take our partners for granted a lot of times.
Yeah.
I take my family for granted. I live with them. I don't actively try to. My sister does because she's just better about that, but I don't actively set up things to do with them a lot of times because I see them all the time. We're on the phone, blah, 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 blah. You know, and a lot of times I'm like, oh, we're good. But also, I think too often we don't understand until we failed at it so many times that those are things that we need to do. Because that's when we get around like our people that we're intimate with in any way. it's really like our time to like relax and like reflect on the things of the day. And we don't want to treat those relationships like work. And a lot of times I feel like we end up treating them like hobbies instead of what they are, which is like probably some of our most important relationships, or at least our most important things that we should be caring for the most. And it isn't until you start to find that things have started to get stale that like, oh man, this is something that I needed to maintain. And like I said, it isn't until you failed at those relationships a couple times that you realize how important that is, you know. And it sometimes, man, I guess that also depends on the kind of relationship you have with your partner, you know. But regardless of that, I do think that we should be actively doing those things because, like you know, it just keeps things fresh and it gives you all new things to talk about. And also, what it does, I think, as people get older, they start to sort of, especially if you get married young, people start to grow apart a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you keep those relationships fresh, it gives you new threads to your relationship, so you don't grow too far apart. You know what I mean? And I think that'll really help. So I think even as you get new interests, it's like, oh yeah, we did this thing together, and that's something we can talk about. Oh, we did this thing together, and that's something else we can talk about. And through those like common threads, you find ways to tie your separate interests together. It's like, oh yeah, this kind of reminds me of such and such and such and such. It's like, oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think for me, like, I was treating relationships like, well, in the beginning, I was treating them like, you know, the passion I have for my art. But then it was also like picking up a new hobby, and then, you know, you really don't care for it after a while.
Right.
That sounds so bad saying it out loud.
No,
but
that's real though.
That's really how like I was like treating relationships like they were a hobby. And then I would just like after a few months be like, well, you know, I really don't care about this. I'm not really into this anymore.
Right.
And so it wasn't like, I think in order for me to like really be connected to a person and treat them with that same energy and have that passion, like I have to have that passion for that person. Like, you know, you just instantly connect with somebody the same way you connect with that art or your art, and it's like, this is what I love to do.
Right.
Like, I'm never gonna quit doing this. And it's the same thing like for me with relationships. You know, when I meet that person and I just connect with him and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, this is that person. Now I feel it. But a lot of the times I know I didn't give that energy because I wasn't connected. It was like. Do you
think having sex too early in relationships can ruin that? Because sometimes you connect with the person early and the relationship becomes very sexual, and a lot of times when things start to get stale, you just have sex and you don't really learn the person. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, some of the most successful relationships I've seen are with people who are more mature, or at least people who have like a friendship before things start to like go that way. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you like, I know things about you. We've been through things together, and you know we have there's a base of knowledge that we have together that we can build for. Yeah, that we can build from. But if I meet you and, you know, I'm not, you know, we go on a couple days, but we, you know, after a couple days, now we're starting, you know, to mess around, blah, 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 blah. And also, we're not really spending that much time together. And the time we do spend together, it's late at night, and then I'm leaving in the morning. Yeah,
right.
I think that makes things, I think sometimes that can cloud things, you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I feel like if you have sex too early, like towards the end of that relationship, it gets awkward because you don't know what else to talk about.
Right.
You don't feel like you have anything else in common because you all have not really established any kind of relationship outside of having sex.
Right.
And so it's like
it's basically a sexual relationship. And that's what
it's like, okay, well, whenever you feel awkward, it's like, well, let's have sex now.
Right.
Because I don't know what else I don't know what you like. I don't know, you know, what's your favorite color because we always fucking.
Right.
I don't know outside of this. So I feel like it definitely does kind of ruin that sometimes. Like having sex early on in relationships, like sometimes kind of ruins that. So you don't know, you know, if you could grow with that person because you didn't take that time. But I mean that it works backwards for some people. Sometimes, like some people have sex right off and be like, "Oh no, we cool. Like our relationship is dope as fuck because we just knew how to connect with each other." But for like the average normal person who really needs to like take time to connect with people, I think if you're having sex in the beginning, it definitely kind of throws that off. That connection and that growing together, that's thrown off because you don't know what else to do and you don't know how to start the conversation, which is really what it is, because it feels awkward to you, or you may fear it, or it's embarrassing to just start a normal conversation other than, "Hey, you want to have sex tonight?"
Right.
That's literally it.
For sure. We got to take one more break, and there's a question I definitely want to ask both you guys. And then you like you was about to say something, so we're going to get into what you want to say, all right? All right, bet.
Cool.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.
It could have also been called black ass people. Nah. Let's meet the blacks.
All right, meet the blacks first. All right, guys, welcome back. We're here at the Multi-Name Podcast. We're going to let y'all help us figure that out.
Multi-Name Podcast.
But,
that's the name.
Yeah. You was about to say something.
I forgot what the fuck I was going to say.
All right, cool. So, how do y'all feel about... So, we have lives before we get into these relationships, right? How do y'all feel? And there's a joke from Seinfeld. Like, George had this... I'm relationship George, and then I'm like friend George. And one of his girlfriend started to like become friends with his friends. And sometimes that's cool, right? But sometimes if it happens too early, that can be a problem.
Very complicated.
It can be complicated. How do y'all feel about? Because sometimes you start dating somebody within the friend group, and y'all know a lot about each other, right? Like, you know, or other people know a lot about y'all. So how do y'all feel about having mutual friends in y'all you know in y'all relationships?
For me, like I have that with a few of my exes are friends with, you know, some of my friends now. Like my best friend still is friends with my ex. I'm still his friend. I don't really have a problem with it because for me personally, I've never like ended a relationship on like super bad terms where I'm just like, fuck you, I hope you die, and don't ever talk to me again.
True.
So that's not how I roll. So, you know, if I'm starting off in a relationship and, you know, we all become friends, which, you know, I would hope so, because you know, I'm introducing you, I'm gonna always be hanging around my group of friends, and, you know, he wants me to hang around his friends, so we're gonna get to know each other. I don't have an issue with mutual friends in a relationship, especially like if y'all break up, for me, because I know that the type of person I am, like, okay, if we split, it's usually on good terms, and I don't feel like a certain way about being around exes. Like, I'm not like, oh, I can't be around him.
I feel that way too.
So it's just like, well, shit, we friends. If we see each other out, and I'll be like, hey, what's up? You know, we can catch up.
Dope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. Anybody I've had a relationship with, we still have some sort of friendship. The thing with me is there was sometimes during that relationship where they would want me to pick them over that friendship that I've had for way longer. And it's like, I can't do that. Like, I don't care what we're doing. Yeah, we're doing that, but I've known this person way more longer than you.
Right.
Like, we're thick and thin. Like, we've been through some shit together. We ain't been through nothing yet but sex. And that's cool, but this one I had is a little bit deeper right now, so I can't just pick you over that. So that's usually where it's at. But then at the same time, you want to be cool with them, but you don't want me to hang around with them this much. So it's like, where's that fine line?
You know what's so funny? Like, for me, I definitely had, like, one of my ex-boyfriends used to always talk about, like, one of my old friends would be like, you need to stop hanging around her. I don't like how she influences you. And fast forward, like, I would always be like, shut the fuck up, you don't know what you're talking about. And then fast forward, I don't even hang out with her. Because of what the fuck he said.
Sometimes you need an outside perspective.
Yeah, I mean, what he was saying was true. It was like, I wouldn't necessarily say she was influencing me to do things, because I'm a grown grown woman, so I'm going to do what I want to do. But it just came to a point where, you know, I didn't like being around her anymore. Because I was growing up, and I'm like, well, I don't enjoy doing these same things anymore. And now, like, that I think about it, you know, that's kind of weird.
I mean, just to even be real, like, that was my situation. It was probably more jealousy because you know who my best friend is. My best friend, so her name is T. It's my business partner also. So we hang around so much to the point that everybody who knows we're cool think we are sexual partners.
Right.
So despite me denying it 20 times, like if we having sex, I'm not gonna deny it. Like
Right.
if I gotta deny it, like what the fuck are we talking about? So it's like on her end, she's gonna hit some guys and she said, "Oh, she with me." Like, damn, y'all doing something? No, we just fucking hang around with each other.
Right.
Like we go on trips, we do all this shit together.
Yeah.
That's legit my sister.
That's dope.
Right, that's like my sister. I don't look at her even in no sexual sense. That's just my
Right.
sister. I'm protective over her. The same thing with her and me. She's overprotective with me. So anybody I'm talking to, she's going to be questioning me. Anybody she's talking to, I'm questioning her.
Right.
So that's our relationship. That's how it is. But everybody always constantly thinks that we just smashing, we fucking, we gonna get married. Like, what the fuck y'all talking about?
I definitely get that because I have a lot of guy friends. And if I'm around, if I'm like out with one of my friends, and a lot of my guy friends are married. And so if I'm like out and we're having a drink, you know, talking about whatever the fuck we're talking about, and then one of their wives will call. Like, oh, who are you with? Oh, I'm hanging out with Mimi and we at the bar. And it becomes a whole thing.
Yeah.
Even though I know, like, I haven't had like a direct conversation with like some of my friends' wives, but like I'm not that person. Like I know that's a stigma out here.
It
like
is.
you gotta watch.
Right.
You gotta watch these hoes. Basically, I'm not one of the hoes.
Start after.
And just throw it out there.
Yeah.
I like
Layup.
connect.
Yeah.
I guess I connect with guys more than I connect with girls, but that's always been the case
I'm the
for
same
me
way though.
because
I'm
I grew up a little tomboy, so all of my friends were boys. But the thing is, like, I have to often tell other women, like, no, we're not sexual. No, I'm not having sex with him. This is literally my friend. I had a conversation with some dude who was like, women and men can't really truly be friends, which was the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
That's a lot of dudes that do believe that though.
I know, but it's so
You can't
dumb.
be friends. You can't be friends and not be smashing. Y'all got to smash.
I don't
I feel like women though.
understand.
10 years ago, I had women like, there's no way you I fuck my friends feel like, well, that's your fucking problem. I have it.
Nasty.
Right. You're a fucking freak.
That's it.
So okay, so let me ask this then. So what about when you start dating somebody within the friend group? So now you dated like maybe because a lot of times I've seen like there'll be 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 guys and like 1 girl, and one of the guys will start dating the girl, right? And now the girl, you out with the guys, but the girl is calling your phone looking for somebody else. It's like, yo, put Steve on the phone. It's like, the fuck you want to talk to Steve for?
That's great. I've had that happen.
Everybody has had that happen at some point. Either you've been the friend or you've been in that relationship. I feel like that happens quite a bit. So like, how did you navigate that? Because that can get weird for some people.
It was definitely weird for me in the beginning because I was just like, I know, like, I'm one of his closest friends, but like, nigga, he also has a phone.
Right.
But I don't know. It was really weird because in the beginning, like, one of my guy friends, I guess he wouldn't answer the phone, but he was literally like always in the studio working on some shit.
Right.
And I like being in the studio. I love music, so I'll be there with him. I'm like, okay, if this girl calls, he not answering, and I'll be like, you don't want to answer the phone?
Right.
Calling, he's like, no, I'll call her back. And then literally like 2 minutes later, she's calling my phone. Like, hey, are you with so-and-so? Yeah, he's right here. I'm not about to lie to you. I don't have time. It was definitely weird in the beginning because the first time, like, this girl called my phone, she was like, is this Mimi? And I'm like, yeah. It's like, are you with so-and-so? When you say with.
Yeah.
No, but I've had that habit. I don't know, like, I guess I just got used to it.
Right.
Because I'm like, well, as long as y'all together, nigga, you just don't, I don't know if you don't like her.
Right.
Because you won't answer the phone. Or that was just the thing that she did. Because she knew that, you know, we would probably be hanging out.
Right.
So.
Yeah, man, that can be weird, man. It can definitely be weird. It happened to me before, you know what I'm saying? My girl I was dating, she came in the group. She became part of the group. Right. And she lived closer to one of my homies. And he would drop off at the crib all the time. That didn't bother me, whatever. But a lot of times I'd be with him and she calling me like, oh, let me speak to Brandon. And I'm just like, you talking to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? She was like, yeah, but that's my homie, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, I mean, I was like 19 at the time, so I was a kid, kind of, you know, and I was just immature as fuck, man. But like, you know, that can be weird. And sometimes, you know, when your partner becomes friends with your friends, however they come into the group, right? Mm-hmm. It's sometimes I need my friends to be honest with me, or I need to be honest with my friends about how you getting on my fucking nerves. And you know what I'm saying? I don't want them to start treating you different and blah, blah. And sometimes you just need you need somebody who can you need a buffer where you can be honest about your partner, somebody else. Because maybe you just need that person to tell you, no, you tripping. Right. Because I tell my guy friends, like, man, you tripping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shorty just want to spend time with you. Or, yeah, she needs to relax because, you know, blah, blah, blah. You got a life outside of just the two of y'all, you know. Right. But, you know, it can be tricky in a lot of ways. To me, it can.
It can. I mean, it depends on the age you're at. Like, you was young when that happened, so you're immature, you really figuring shit out. You're like, what the fuck you hanging out with them for? Mm-hmm. But as you get older and progress, I mean, hopefully you have that relationship. Obviously, just don't force it, though.
Right,
that person trying to be forcing stuff in that circle. Like, let's let it take time, let it take its course. Like, eventually they're gonna either like you or they're not gonna like you. And your friends are should be your closest confidants besides family, about being real about who that person is. Mm-hmm. Nah, you shouldn't be with her. You shouldn't be with him. Nah, that piece of shit. So hopefully they got friends that gonna tell you that instead of just being fake and letting them in the circle and they don't fucking like them.
True.
That's true. I think the same thing. Like as you get older, well, for me, like as I get older, like I'm more at peace and I trust myself, and I'm like those insecurities have all gone. Like I don't have those insecurities. So it's like if I trust you, then I trust you. If you're in the circle, you're one of the friends, hey, you want to go over here and you're my best friend and chopping it up for an hour, y'all may be having a dope ass fucking conversation. I'm not gonna like go over and interrupt y'all. I've definitely had that, but for me, I'm used to that dynamic anyway.
Right.
It's like, okay, if I get in a relationship, then, you know, my boyfriend's gonna be part of the circle. If, you know, my best friend, her boyfriend is part of the circle. Like, we all just hang out. We have dope conversations. You know, I can go up to her house and they won't even be saying shit to each other. But I'm like, hey y'all, what's going up? Like, let's have this super dope conversation. It's the same thing. Like, but I get it on both sides how some person, especially if you're younger, will look at that and be like, well, I don't know about this. Seems kind of fishy. Right. Now I'm going to think y'all are doing some shit behind my back.
Right. What you calling about them for? What you calling talking about for?
Right.
Exactly. I mean, I get that, but because I mean, some people out here are just like old and they're always going to be petty. Like no matter how old they get or how old they are now in relationships, because you know, like the older you get, you expect people to just like grow out of pettiness and just have common fucking sense, and they never get it or grow out of the pettiness. Yeah. So you still gotta like kind of watch out for that. But I guess it's like knowing your friends and knowing that group of people. And like everybody's just genuine with each other, and you know you could trust them. So,
let me just say, as a guy, usually I'm usually gonna be way more chill with my girl coming to hang out with me than me going to hang out with her and her friends. Usually, most guys do not want to hang out with his girl and her friends.
Family, it's just a little awkward at first because
even beyond that first. I mean, like, do you want to go hang with your girl and her friends?
No, I would say because from my experiences, it seems more like it's a drill. Like they questioning me on solid shit. Like I'm fucking getting questioned by the FBI or some shit. Just some random questions just about.
I mean, I do that. My female cousins bring dudes over. I be like, so what's up, little nigga? There's some shit like that. I'm definitely that cousin. But like, I don't know, man. Like, usually as a guy, my girl will just like be filling out the room, and my guys are like, okay, it's a female, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's more common for us to bring girls around. I don't know how it is for you. I don't know how it is for y'all, but like. Being my guys, this female's around all the time. Well, there's a new girl around all the time. You know what I'm saying? But like, with like a girl bringing a guy around, I feel like y'all don't really want niggas around when y'all doing y'all girl thing anyway. I feel like, is that even? Am I exaggerating that or what? I feel like that's a thing.
Like you may be talking to the wrong person because I'm indifferent about this.
Okay.
Because I'm the same way. Like, honestly, if I'm in a room, it's gonna be a lot of men and women in that generally.
Okay.
I'm not in a room usually, but a lot of guys. maybe 5 years ago, it was maybe a group of guys, but as I've gotten older and progressed, it's some of everybody in there. So everybody has a good relationship with each other, so it's like we all comfortable around each other at this point. If we're not, we're gonna get comfortable by the end of the night.
Well, you know what? Like now that I think about it, I feel indifferent. Like on an opposite side because I'm used to having a lot of guy friends.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go out with my guy friends and then I have to go around his family and it's a lot of women. And I typically feel like I'm being judged, even though I don't really give a shit because I know
you definitely
women
being judged.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I know
absolutely.
women, and I know how women are, especially if they don't know you. Yeah, we put on that smiling face, but they're still like in their head, look at her. Ugh.
Yeah, right. Right.
I mean, but me, like, I truly don't give a shit, like, because wherever I go, I'm gonna be comfortable. Like, I got something to drink, you got something to eat. All right, great. You want to talk to me? No, fuck you too. I don't care. But I get like if you're out with your boyfriend, like guys. Y'all feel like awkward when you're around the girl's friends or family.
Yeah, her family I don't really mind, but like her and her female crew say, "Oh yeah, come out." I'm like, no, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna pass on that 99% of the time.
I would say the few times I've been out with my ex and her crew, it was actually pretty decent. Like it wasn't no judgment. Just went out, actually had fun.
Sure, it can be once you get used to them. But if I have to choose, I'm like, no, you coming out with us. Because I'm usually just not wanting to be around.
A girl would be kind of, skeptical about going out hanging without her man's friends because it's going to be, the stereotypical conversation of men is like, damn, my ass fat as hell.
Sure.
Y'all sitting, drinking or whatever, and then you might feel a little, I don't know, you might feel like you gotta tone it down because you're out with your girl.
Right.
Yeah, bro, okay, alright, cool. And then, like, for the girls who are, like, not comfortable with those conversations, I know, like, a lot of girls will be like, no, I'm going to pass, and I'm going to go hang out with my girl.
I feel that. Go ahead.
Because I don't want to hear you talk about ass and titties all day long. Right. And then girls go out, and we're talking about dicks all day long.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't trying to do that. Do you? I want you to be comfortable. I want you to have those conversations with being around. Because you got to be able to take that filter off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's important, man.
Yeah.
And obviously, the fucking Super Saiyan level relationship is y'all can talk about other people like, yeah, he good looking. Oh, damn, shorty bad as hell. You know what I'm saying? When you can have that healthy relationship talking about other people.
Together.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. But if y'all ain't there yet, no, go ahead, go with your girls. I'm going to go over here. Yeah. I'm with it. I'm with it. Man.
Yeah. That's cool.
It is cool. Y'all got anything else?
No.
True.
That's it.
Wrap this bitch up.
Alright, bad. Maybe we gotta go get some food anyway.
Yeah, I gotta go freeload. So,
true. Hey, that's a good look sometimes.
Yeah, people be inviting me to shit and
sometimes you go.
Sometimes I go. 92% of the time I show up. The other 8, self-care.
True.
Self-care.
Yeah. But I usually show up.
I'm with it.
Anytime somebody invites me out to things. But I gotta go freeload and get free shit. So y'all, thanks for tuning in to the podcast. I'm Mimi. Y'all can follow me on social media. Mimi the actress. That's Mimi with 2 E's. Not meme. Mimi. Make sure you go and subscribe to Vibes Podcast. You're trash, by the way. Vibes Podcast, Vibes with a Z, and then follow that on IG at Ask Vibes.
True. E, what about you, man?
You can follow me, EP_REA, again, REA Radio, which stands for Reaching Every Artist. New Music Mondays. I'm a music guy. I'm going to do A&R work. I do events here and there. Getting back to doing all that shit. We're doing media now. So you can, again, follow me, EP_REA. I'm not doing a podcast after this year. I promise you that. Yeah.
All right. True.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Well, you can find me at the Rtisan. That's Rtisan without the A, so that's RTISAN. It's the same _ It's the same handle at Twitter and IG and Facebook. So, the Rtisan. We don't link
without the A.
Just R.
Yeah, it's R. No
Aura. True.
Aura.
Alright, so thanks for joining the We Don't Have a Name Yet podcast. Y'all gonna help us out with that. Meet the Blacks. We gonna
2 guys and 1 girl. 1 girl and 2 cups.
If it's Meet the Blacks, black guests only.
3 cups.
3 cups. The 3 Cups podcast. I kind of fucks with that low key.
3 Cups podcast.
True. Alright, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. Love, like, sub, all that.
Peace, love.
Catch us later. We out this bitch.
West side.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you're right. I was a little. Okay, thanks. Thanks, E. Thanks. Thanks for that, Doc. Yeah. I'm like, okay. All right, true.
West side. All right. Somebody asked me to be like West side. I'd be like West side.
West side.
West side. Super soft.